inside your bedroom. We stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm. Physical silence, no need to speak a word. Lay here beside me. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on my flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I never dare to ask if we're gonna last. I'm needing all your love, needing all your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you're playing your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts. Your blood is pumping, I feel it in your veins, surfing your heat waves. Your taste is different, somehow it makes me brave. Chemical nature. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on my flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you're playing your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Oh my God, I'm a fool. Thought I'd never fall into you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so cruel how I'm loving the
Hello, welcome to my channel. I am a little late getting set up. So I am currently finishing off some projects. So if you've watched the vlog from this week, then you are already kind of caught up and you know that I got my manuscript back from my editor. So Winter Witches, which comes out December 12th. It is my winter fake dating romance. Really fun. My editor sent the book back a whole week early to me, which was great. So I used this weekend to do final edits on it. So I just wrapped that up literally like a few minutes ago, finished the edits and put it all in my formatting software. I use Vellum. And so the last thing that I have left to do for this is to download the files or convert them all with Vellum and upload the final KDP, the final Kindle version, so that that is ready for pre-orders to go. Because yes, I have pre-orders up for this book right now on Amazon. And then it's just waiting on release day, which is really exciting. So I pulled out my copy of it. This is my very first proof copy when I was doing a test for the cover, because I did a lot of the cover by myself with a designer on Instagram. Love the way this turned out. And I was worried that after my edit, the page count might change drastically. And so I might have to order another proof copy just to make sure specs are the same. So I pulled out this, and that was what I was working on before we went live together. So there's my update. How was everybody else? How was everybody's Thanksgiving? If you are in the US and celebrating Thanksgiving, How was the holiday for you? Hello. Hello. Yes, I am very excited. I also currently have the very first book in the Guardians of the Sixth Gate trilogy on Amazon. It's on a Black Friday deal through, I think, until Wednesday. It's as a free book deal. So you can download that for free right now, just the ebook from Amazon. So very cool. Lots of things happening. I have a lot of things coming up this next week. Also, things are starting to come to a very, very quick and hectic close for the year. But I am looking forward to everything I have planned and everything I want to do in the new year. And super excited to finally bring this book to you guys. So, really excited. Have had a wonderful holiday, got my draft off to a developmental editor. Woo, that is exciting. Oh, that always makes me feel good and also a little bit nervous. That moment when you hit send on it and like actually send the draft off. I love that moment, but it's bittersweet, I think, at the same time. It's nice to get it out of your hands after you've done everything you can with it. Sometimes like I feel like I'm going cross-eyed looking at my own work. So really exciting stuff. It's kind of convenient also that I was able to finish my edits for this book because what I am currently working on is the second book in this series. I am really excited to start working on that, getting that prepped and ready to go. I'm not very far into it. I'm still I think I'm into chapter 2 now, writing that, and we'll come to that here in a moment. We're going to work on that tonight. That is my big goal tonight, is to write on the second book in that series. So I am going to finish off my edits and get that downloaded and then put up on the KDP. But I think I think we'll be able to get around and get quite a bit of writing done, I hope. Hello. Katie is here. Been reading a lot this break, and I am reading tonight, Fourth Wing. Not looking forward to going back to work tomorrow. Neither am I. I am not very excited about going back to work tomorrow because this week especially is really busy. But I am kind of excited just to get on a normal schedule. I do think that. Fourth Wing's a fun one. I am currently reading. I guess we haven't talked about that. What is everybody reading? I finished oh my gosh, Throne of Glass. I finished Throne of Glass early this week, and so I kind of switched gears and I started Iron Flame. So I think I'm like 16 chapters in Iron Flame. I'm liking it so far. Yes. So that's a fun one. I am excited to hear what you think. Let me move my notes. I wrote down all of the chapters and the back matter in Winter Witches and was checking them off as I was going through edits today. So I'm going to stick that right there. Now that I'm looking at it, I do have one last thing that I need to look through before I download the final version of this. I need to check my sneak peek of the vampire romance. So, fun fact, if you order Winter Witches, either the paperback or on Kindle, in the very back of it, there is a sneak peek at the vampire romance book, and the title is revealed in this book. So I'll be releasing, I think this year I'm going to release the title of all of the books I will be publishing in 2024 because I already have the titles picked out. They are for sure now. So my plan was going into the new year to release those in January. But since this book comes out December 12th, the first book releasing will be in the back of this. So that's exciting. kind of a early release if you are interested in reading the vampire romance. So, let's see. We have been chatting quite a bit. I'm gonna come over here, make sure I save my work real fast. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if I did all of that and it just went kaput? All right. So, yes. Literally, I have like 4 or 5 pages of this sneak peek to read through, and then I am going to download it. And it is a sneak peek. So this is the first part of chapter 1 of the vampire romance. So it's a book that hasn't been edited yet. I just wrote it. So there could be changes in the first few pages. I don't see a lot changing. It'd just be like writing, editing, like small things. The details are not going to change, but it's there. I think it's fun. Do you guys like getting sneak peeks of other books in the back of books? Do you read those? I always liked them when I was reading a series as it was releasing, like when Harry Potter, in the days of like those kinds of books, when they would put the first chapter in the back of the book. I loved that. So, let's see. So, if you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe below. That button's just below. And check out all the links in my description also, because there's a link tree there with all of my social media and all of my books. There's also a link to get 10% off of a hydro jug, which I always keep with me. This massive steel thing. I love it so much though. Keeps cold, never gets hot, even when it's been in my car for quite a long time. Because I have forgotten it in my car before. But if you're new, what we do is we do 3 writing sprints or productivity sprints. And so what we do is we will work for 20 minutes at a time, and then we will come back and chat in between. And we do 3 rounds of that. So there's the clock up on our screen. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the very first sprint of the night. So for sprint number 1, I am going to be finishing off the formatting of Winter Witches, get that downloaded, and then upload it, at least the Kindle version, to KDP. That way I can check that off my list, because since it's on a pre-order, if you don't upload the book like a week in advance from release day, then the wrong version will go out to readers, which is a huge issue. So gonna go upload that so I don't forget it. And then I'm going to move on to book 2 in that series, which is the one I just started writing. So we'll be back on to chapter 2. I'm almost 3,000 words into that. So that is how I am starting my night. Hopefully this first 20-minute sprint will be a productive one for all of you as well. All right. So 20 minutes is up on our clock. I will see you guys in a bit. 3, 2, 1, go. Woo. Okay. First sprint down. I got all my files downloaded and now I'm working on uploading them. I think I need to go through my hardware and get rid of some stuff first, make some space. I forget this happens just about every time I go to do this. So I'm going to have to work on some other things, I think, before I can do that, which is okay. We will get there. We'll make it happen. Hopefully, the first sprint was really productive for you guys. Maybe, hopefully, more so than what it just was for me. I did get a lot of stuff done, but not everything I'd hoped to. So, little disappointed, but it's fine. I'm still ahead of schedule as far as getting this stuff uploaded to KDP. So I am I'm on a really good like timeline here. So it could definitely be worse. So let's see what else. Oopsie. There we go. That's the banner that I wanted. So I have already set my goals for 2024. I'm in the process of filming and putting out content for that. I'm going to be revamping my Patreon a little bit more because right now I'm not utilizing it as much as I really want to. I want it to grow and be like a really tight community for all of us. I do have 2 tiers on my Patreon. I think the lowest is 3. It used to only be the $5 tier. I recently added the other tier. So there are 2 tiers now. The $5 tier, the Guardians tier, gets you short stories. And that is what I want to do a better job putting together, is getting more content and getting it catered to those of you in that community. So I am working to up my game in that sense. And so since I already have planned out my 2024 goals, I said all of that. We talked about that last week in our live stream. Now I am actually putting into plan like those little pieces, the how-tos accomplish the goals. So that is something I'm hoping to do a little bit more of, especially starting in December, is to actually planning the content and figuring out where I need to set aside time for for some of that content, because some of it takes more time to create and I need like certain environments for that, like an environment to record if I'm doing videos. So I am looking more at the content type now to see how that fits into my schedule. Revisiting another novel while I wait on the one. Have to remember what I was doing. Yes, I do the same thing. I have to like refresh my memory. I have to go through all of my notes and things to get myself caught up to feel like I'm back in that kind of space. Again, because some of my projects are very different, especially these books that are coming in 2024. The vampire romance is very, very different from the dragon book that I have planned. So, and they're both much more grown up than what I have published in the past. So I do the same thing where I have to create like my own environment, especially music is the biggest for me. That's the biggest way I set like the tone for my novels. I do a lot of that through music. So, I don't know. How does everybody else do that? Do you guys listen to music while you're working on different projects? Does that help set the mood for you? I create playlists of music that I listen to while I write. I tend to create the playlist as I go. And I just kind of find the music that fits for the project at the time. So that's really helpful for me. I know some people have to work in complete silence though. Okay. I wish this would go through. That is so strange. I keep like refreshing my page as though it's going to miraculously like take my files. But no, all of these are the old. None of these are my new files. So, probably gonna have to clear out some things first. Come back to that later. Sometimes YouTube streams and such. Yes, I have a couple other friends here on YouTube, and I tune into their live streams. I'm not always writing the same time that they are though, so I tune into the streams just to be a part of like the conversation sometimes. But I have found that when I do look for other writing streams on YouTube, I'm able to meet new people and make new connections. It's a little like our own form of networking, I would say, is these productivity sprints. And I'm finding that as new people pop in and out of our chat and come over to our community, they're doing some of the same things where they've just Googled, or not Googled, they've typed in a YouTube search bar for productivity sprints or writing sprints, and they find other authors that way. So it's kind of funny, isn't it? It is sort of like our own kind of networking. All right. So I have the second sprint banner is up. Don't forget to like the stream below. That kind of stuff helps me out a ton. There's actually a lot of like free ways you can help authors. You don't even have to buy their books in order to support them, as if you can just share out their content. If their book may not be your cup of tea, but maybe you have a friend that likes that kind of stuff, maybe mentioning it to a friend. I've recently really gotten on to Reddit, and I found another yet again a whole other community of authors through Reddit. Also, tips and tricks. I'm following a fantasy romance thread right now, and it's kind of fun because we're just suggesting books back and forth. I have had really good conversations with people through Reddit recently, and I have made some new friends just from connecting with other authors there. So I know that there's a lot of different outlets for communities, and sometimes even when because social media can get really overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes when, especially as an author, when I feel like my content on these social media platforms I use, or maybe my reach is not going as far as I'd wish, sometimes it's easy to feel real lonely about that when social media is supposed to like connect us and things. So it's been fun to open up and explore Reddit. Found you via a spreadsheet. Oh, that's really interesting. Huh. Ah, I wonder what spreadsheet I'm on. Hello, nice to meet you. I am a writer from Japan. Hello. Welcome to my live stream, our live stream. We are live every Sunday. Welcome. All righty. Where does everybody else like to connect? Because I know everyone has their own opinions about social media. Like, I don't really do Facebook anymore. I have Facebook, and I've been trying to share things out a little bit more from there. But most of my daily activity is through Instagram. I'm still a pretty heavy Instagram user. I also use TikTok a lot, although the last 2 weeks less so, just because my content wasn't going out. All right. Looking for it. We'll share. Thank you. I'm really curious now because that's interesting. Maybe there's some other people on there I know, and maybe that's how we're kind of all grouped together. I don't know. That's really cool. All righty. I think while you're looking for that, I'll give you a little time. Let's go ahead and jump into the second sprint. That way, hopefully, I can resolve my whole KDP over here, that issue. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I may just have to put the upload aside for now, come back to that on a different day. That's probably what I'm going to do. That way I can get around to book 2 and start working on that. Katie says I really like Instagram for my info about artists and authors. I think Instagram is a pretty artsy place. Especially because it used to be like such, and I think it still is, such a meeting ground for artists and photographers, especially. I think that you can showcase a lot of your work the way Instagram is put together with their feed and everything and their stories. I really like Instagram. I am a fan. I definitely have a larger following on TikTok than I do Instagram, but I would say more on Instagram. I don't know. Okay. Round number 2. Halfway in, 20 minutes on the clock. I will see you guys in a bit. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Welcome back. Hello, Margaret. Welcome. Welcome to the live. There've been a bunch of you popping in and out. All right. So, second sprint's done. We do have one more 20-minute sprint left. You know what? I did get around to working on book 2. So, if you missed the first part of the live stream, I have this book, Winter Witches, coming out in December on December 12th. And I just finished final edits for it, so it is completely done. All I have to do is upload the final version to KDP, which is Amazon. That way it's there for all of my pre-order fans, those people. So it's ready to go out. And now what I'm working on tonight is the second book. So this is an interconnected series. So book 2 follows a different sister. There are 3 sisters, so there will be 3 books. So this book is the eldest sister, Madison. Book 2 follows Margot, who is the middle sister. And I'm having a really good time writing on that. I have just crossed the 3,000 mark, 3,022 words to be exact. I do like to keep track of my word count as I go. It's just really motivating to see how far I'm able to get in a sprint. It helps me keep on task too. And so it's just, I don't know, it's what I've always done. I enjoy it. Whatever keeps you moving forward, right? So, how was everybody else's second sprint? I guess we haven't even talked a whole lot about what everybody's working on. What are you guys all working on tonight? Usually, when I join other people's writing streams, unless it's Jen, from Jen's Bookshelf. I don't think she's gone live in a little while, but she used to go live every single Saturday afternoon. And I would join her live streams and write on Saturdays. But typically, I don't write a ton in the weekdays, at least not when everyone else is doing writing streams. So when I do catch one, I'm usually doing laundry or something completely unwriting related. Forgot to check that part off. All right. Margaret says, I was on a sprint of yours before this month and it got me some good words. So hoping for another good sprint. I hope so. Historical fantasy for Nano. Ooh, that's something I haven't read in a little while, is a historical fantasy. I do like a good historical book. Fiction. What is the last one that I read? Oh my gosh. I don't really know. But I do like them. They're fun adventures. Going back into a different time, that is really fun. That's like one of the whole that's what I enjoy the most, I'd say, about fantasy is it's usually a completely different setting than where I live in our world. And that's just really fun. It's an escape, which is what a lot of what writing and reading is for me, is an escape. That's a huge part of the reason I like to read. So I usually gravitate towards books set in different worlds, not so much our own. I like a good fantasy, sci-fi story. So, let's see. Fun fact, speaking of all things books and my projects come recently, my trilogy, my fantasy romance trilogy, just wrapped up in October. I released the final book in that trilogy, the Guardians of the Sixth Gate trilogy I'm talking about. And for Black Friday this weekend, I have the first book in the trilogy listed on Amazon for free. So you can go download a free ebook of Guardians of the Sixth Gate. And then if you like the first book, you could read through the other 2 in the series and get quite a discount at that for the whole series. So if you are an ebook lover, go check that out because it is free, I think, until Wednesday, if I'm remembering right. I think that was the last day I scheduled it to be a free download. But that's a really fun way if you've been wanting to read that series, and you just haven't like taken the plunge for whatever reason. Maybe you don't have time, or maybe you weren't sure if it'd be your thing. Well, you could try it out for free. So, speaking of fantasy worlds, that one is a urban fantasy. It's set in a small town in Colorado. It's like a completely made up small town though. So, real world setting, fantasy elements. Very fun. I love that series, but I am kind of glad that it has wrapped. The vampire romance is related to it in ways. It is the same it's the same like fantasy world, but a completely different storyline and different characters. So, fun, fun, fun. Very different than that is very different than this fluffy romance book for sure. This is very much like Hallmark, but witches. And a little bit of like sexy thrown in. So really fun. Working on a script. Ooh, very happy I got to re-download Final Draft after my laptop had to be wiped and I lost it. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. When that happened to me when I was at college, it was finals week of my senior year, and I was painting my nails, and I got nail polish remover on my keyboard. Had a massive panic attack, thought I was going to completely flunk my final semester of school because I had essays to turn in that were pretty much the whole class, the whole grade. So I don't know how I did it, but I got a new laptop and most of the old one was completely fried, but I somehow managed. I think I had to use like voice to text kind of thing. I think I had to use voice command, and I was able to transfer the old computer hard drive to the new one. And when I logged into the new one, everything was there. It was amazing. But I really do. I think I used voice commands to get it transferred. So I skated by the skin of my teeth. And I also had drafts, like early drafts of books on that hard drive also that I was terrified I was going to lose things that I'd been working on a very long time. Felicia's here. Hello. Hi. Welcome back. You are just in time for our final sprint of the night. We've just been chatting about all things books, projects, little bit of everything in between. So, let's see, 3,022 words into book 2 of my winter romance series. Hopefully I'd like to get to 4,000. And I've kind of hit my stride now, so I think I could do it in this third sprint. Fingers crossed. Well, maybe not quite 4,000. That's a big ask, but I want to get close in this sprint. Holy, that would be a lot of words in one sprint. I cannot work that quite that fast. Some of you have been able to in the last couple of weeks, though, but not me so much. So that is what I'm going to do for sprint number 3 is continue working on this book. So picking up where I left off. Okie dokie. Let's go into sprint number 3. This is the final productivity sprint of the night. So we'll go 20 minutes and then we'll all come back together and we're going to wrap up for the night. I have been off from work this whole week because I do work full time in public education. I am a school counselor full time. I write also full time as far as like the work hours, but it is not my primary income right now. And we go back to school. School picks up again this week. So I do have work in the morning and I have not been on that kind of a routine. So I'm definitely going to be dragging in the morning. So we're going to go ahead, move into the final sprint of the night. I am probably going to call it an early night also. So 20 minutes on our clock. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. So I did get a couple hundred words, about 400 words down. Not quite as far as I was hoping. I think, going to finish up at least a little bit of the scene that I'm on before I get ready to go to sleep, because I do have kind of a big transition back to work tomorrow. I say kind of a big transition, like I have a whole new job or something, but I am going back to work tomorrow after a week off. So I'm not quite used to, like, my sleep schedule's all off, so I'm not going to stay up super late writing. But let's see. Margaret got 607 words. Woo, that is awesome. Joanna asked, what is your normal writing schedule? That is a good question. During the weekdays, I don't typically do a ton of writing. When I'm drafting a book like I am right now, I do write more often on weekdays. So I'll come home from the day job as a school counselor. I'll be out of there by 4, home by 5, usually with Finn. We do dinner, we do some family time. And if I'm writing, Alex and we usually sit down in the den together and he plays video games and I work on my draft. Now, if I'm not drafting, then sometimes we do other things like movie nights and stuff, or we catch up on TV. Typically, for my writing schedule, I'm only consistently, like, the time I have set aside is really just the weekends. So I work on books pretty much all Saturday, or at least a portion of Saturday. And especially Sunday afternoons, I sleep in and I do a lot of the house stuff on Sundays. But Sunday afternoon is when I do all of my planning and prepping for the next week. So that is when I decide exactly where everything is going to fall for that week. But I always write most of Saturdays and usually Wednesday nights and maybe one more night in the weekday, depending on what that week looks like. So it varies a little bit. It actually quite a bit right now, but yes. Will you continue live streams after Nano? I definitely will. This live stream happens every single Sunday at 8:20 Central Standard Time. So this is one that I've done for, I think we're approaching a year now. Oh my gosh. But I go live here every single Sunday night. And I've done that for about a year-ish now. And so I'll continue that after Nano. And I'm hoping into the new year, I have plans to incorporate a guest live stream. So I've been reaching out to some other authors to come in on like a Saturday once a month. And we just write together, talk about books. So it'll be the two of us, me and a guest. So it won't just be me like this normal Sunday one. It's another way to connect with other authors and showcase, especially indie works. So I'm definitely going to expand, I think, live streams out of NaNoWriMo. So I'm really looking forward to that, actually. I already scheduled my first one for December 16th, I think it is. I think it's December 16th. It's Saturday. Yep, December 16th. So there will be a guest live stream that day. Really fun stuff. Thank you for those questions, guys. I hope that this live stream has been really helpful to you guys. I can always count on having this dedicated time every single week to write on my own projects. And it's really fun to have like a community of people to come together and write along with, because writing can be kind of lonely if I don't connect with other people like this. And since this is a tool that we have, the internet and social media and stuff, not always like the best, but it can definitely connect people in ways and grow friendships that we wouldn't have otherwise. So I'm pretty thankful for the AuthorTube Bookstagram book talk community. All right. So I think that pretty much rounds everything out for us tonight. Check out the links below. There's my link tree to all of my books and my social media. Go follow me there. I'm really active, especially on Instagram, but also on TikTok and recently Reddit. That one is not down below, but I have been lurking on Reddit. I don't know if that's, I'm new to it, but check me out below, and hopefully I will see all of you guys at the same time next Sunday. So, thanks. Hope you guys have a great week. See you in the next one. Bye.
Oh my